When I started my own business, I can tell you the year, I can tell you everything about it. It was 1980. I had finished a course at the University of Boulder, Colorado, or University of Colorado in Boulder. And I was taking an entrepreneurial class. Can you imagine 1980? I was taking courses on how to become an entrepreneur. And there was this amazing teacher that we had for the course. I absolutely loved it. And one of the things they drilled in us back then was that the client was always right. And you've read so many stories of people saying that, right? Like really big, successful people. Whatever you remember from this class, always remember the client is always right. And I remember taking that with me over the years. And then in the 1990s, I became a little frustrated with this client always right nonsense, because it is nonsense. If you're codependent in life and you're codependent in business, the client is always right. And you're going to bend over, hey, Sonia, and you're going to bend over backwards, and you're going to get screwed in life if you own a business. I don't care if it's a small business, a big business, it doesn't matter to me. But that philosophy is incorrect. The client is not always right. And it takes a very powerful, strong person to stand up in the face of criticism from a client, be willing to lose the client, be willing to have people talk bad about you behind your back, and yet hold your own integrity, right? Like recently, I have a client out west in California. She is an elite salesperson in a certain field, and the field has to do with a product. So she went and sold an $80,000 sale to an individual that loved her product, and they ordered more and ordered more, and it started out at $50,000, and before you knew it, the end result was an $80,000 sale. She was ecstatic. The owners of the company were ecstatic, and she had all kinds of signed documentation proving in her text and emails that the purchaser, her client, was absolutely thrilled with what she had done for him and the product that she was selling. So as they delivered the whole product and set the product up, and the client was ecstatic, all of a sudden the client decided to bring in another client, a partner. And the partner came in and said, oh, everything is really great except for these three little things we want to return. My client, the salesperson, said, great, we can do that. And then her original client brings in another partner. And the third partner says, no, I want to get rid of all of this. You listening to me? I want to get rid of all this and start from scratch. And I'm going to go to a different person, and I'm not going to use the salesperson you used. And I said, oh my God. So I said to my client, get all your data in a line, right? Like get your ducks in a row, get all your texts together, your emails, where your client said to you that everything is perfect. You have the credit card, the charges have gone through, and let's really go to battle. So the next thing I told her to do is I said, you've got to go get your owners involved. You've got to get the owners of the company understanding that this is serious stuff. It's an $80,000 sale. Initially, the owners are saying, we don't want to go to arbitration with American Express or go to court. Maybe we can just and I told my client to hold strong. I said, listen, you've worked your butt off for 45 days. You're exceptional at what you do. There is no way in the world, when you have signed agreements, text messages, emails. I said, go ahead and check with an attorney. She checked with an attorney, and the attorney goes, oh my God, the guy that you're working with is correct. This is a shut and dried case, right? And so then I told her, I said, hey, just for the heck of it, call American Express. She calls American Express. She walks the people through. She called American Express, the manager. She walked them through it and said, this is what we have. Both American Express people said, you know what, it's tight and dry. I mean, if the guy wants to take you to court, he can. But as far as we're concerned, and I said, listen, this is an example of the client is not always right. You don't just change your mind midstream and then say to someone, oh, here's $80,000 worth of product that I said I would buy, that I gave you a credit card for. We've got all kinds of texts going back and forth, but I brought someone else in to take care of it. And now they don't want it. It's not your problem. The client is not always right. Now, she can get scrutinized. Her client could talk about in the community about what a jerk she is, what a jerk her company is. I pray to God that her owner and manager will stand behind her as they are right now. I said, you have way too much support. You have American Express saying it's a done deal. You have an attorney that you know saying it's a done deal. You have me as a business coach with over 30 years experience saying, no, do not back down to a client. A client can be wrong. Listen, I have my own experience where a woman took our life coach certification course and she missed several of the days. And this is when and a lot of times I'll teach the life coach certification one-on-one. So it was her and one other person. She missed several days. And when my team contacted her, she told us she was sick. So I said, okay, well, if you're sick, and we'll make it up. Several weeks later, she came in, and when I asked her what was the illness, what was going on, she couldn't lie, thank God. And she said, I was hungover those 2 days. I said, well, guess what? There's no makeup for hangovers. That's not an illness. That's a choice. So you know what? You're going to have to get the information from the other person. And I'm not teaching this whole thing again for you. Like, that's not filled with integrity. We have an agreement. We have a contract on my website that we've had there since 1996 that says that we will refund money if I do something incorrect. We will refund money if someone goes through an incredible course with me, and at the end of it, they say, I didn't learn a darn thing, but they hand in all the written work. Oh my God, we'll write back the check in a heartbeat. So she started asking for her money back. I said, you want your money back because you had 2 hangovers and missed classes that you don't want to make up? That's not how this company runs. I don't run a company like that. I run a company of integrity. And then she said, well, I didn't learn anything from the course. I said, then great. Follow what's on my website. Send in all your manuals, all your books, all your written materials. And if I see that you completed all the work and you say you didn't learn a thing from the course, I will refund your money. Guess what? She never had done the homework. She had never done the written work. She had nothing to hand in. And the final text I got from her was, I understand. Now, that was probably about 4 years ago. We have the text. We have the full lineup of the text. She was wrong. The client was wrong. And there's millions of stories of clients I've worked with over the years where I've told them, I am so sorry. This whole nonsense bullshit philosophy that the client is always right. Yeah, well, listen, it might have been fine working in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. Times have changed. And if we don't update, and if we're not filled with integrity, and if we're not willing to go to bat for ourselves, who will? If you own a small business and you want to learn more about having integrity in business and writing your guarantees and your return policies and everything else that we do, contact me at talkdavid.com. I'd love to take you through how you write ironclad policies so that you can't get screwed in the court system. Now, people can talk behind my back. This woman that I wouldn't return money to, oh my God, she talked to so many people about how terrible I was and whatever. Listen, if you're drunk and you miss sessions and you think that you're going to get them made up, that's just not happening in my book. If you don't follow directions and you don't hand in the coursework, but you want an A, you want your money back, not happening here. I hope you feel the same. You have to feel strongly about who you are, what you do. You have to have integrity. And sometimes that means integrity will bring you into the court of public opinion and people will slam you. Let them slam you. Doesn't matter, because you have to sleep at night knowing that you're doing the right thing. If I can help you at all, go to talkdavid.com, okay? Love to help you out. Times change, philosophies change. We need to be changing with the times. Have a great day.